Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you're listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. United Methodist University staff demand the immediate suspension and investigation of the institution's top leaders for gross management, citing prolonged unpaid salaries. Human rights lawyer, Councillor Tiamonse Ganglo says changes Liberians are seeing from President Joseph Boakai's promises of hope, no more business as usual, and a rescue government are in the personal lives and pockets of high-ranking government officials. Away from home, French Cameroonian writer Charles Onana is due to go on trial in Paris, accused of complicity in contesting the 1994 Rwandan genocide. These plus many more coming up on the Daily News. Now, the news in details. The executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Yakpaulo, has returned to Liberia after several weeks of international engagements, including successful representation at the United Nations General Assembly. Speaking at the EPA conference room on Monday, October 7, Dr. Yakpaulo acknowledged the support he received from international partners during his travels and emphasized the importance of building relationships that will benefit the EPA in Liberia. During his travels, he participated in the signing of 5 key instruments with the International Atomic Energy Agency, an agreement that will provide Liberia with access to advanced technology in agriculture and health. He also highlighted an urgent issue related to radiation treatment at the JFK Memorial Hospital, where the IAEA helped address a dangerous reading of a nuclear material known as cesium-137. Dr. Yakpaulo expressed optimism that Liberia will now benefit from improved radiation treatment and environmental monitoring equipment through collaborations with international partners. In addition, Dr. Yakpaulo discussed Liberia's involvement in the Minamata Convention, which aims to phase out the use of mercury in mining. He pointed out the health risks associated with mercury contamination in water bodies, which affects both fish and humans. He continued by emphasizing the importance of saving EPA resources and minimizing expenses on official trips, urging staff to continue prioritizing the agency's budget to support broader environmental goals for the benefit of the country. Staff of the United Methodist University have issued a stern ultimatum in their demands, a copy of which is in the possession of Focus on Liberia, calling for the immediate suspension and investigation of the institution's top leaders. The concerned UMU staff accused the senior officials of gross management, citing prolonged unpaid salaries, salary disparities, and overstaffing that has placed on an unbearable strain on the university's wage bill. They further alleged that the university has been operating without a proper budget and that employees' social security and income taxes have been deducted but not remitted, leaving staff vulnerable. A source speaking on condition of anonymity told Focus on Liberia that classes were expected to resume last month, but due to the institution's failure to pay staff salary, some of whom have gone unpaid for over 7 to 8 months, it will be impossible for classes to start this October. The source added that the failure to meet financial obligations had left staff disillusioned and unwilling to return to work. He said employees claim that nepotism has taken root at the institution, with leadership allegedly prioritizing personal connections over qualifications, and that the establishment of additional colleges in other counties without faculty senate approval has further fueled dissatisfaction among the staff. In light of these grievances, the staff are demanding the immediate suspension of the accused officials and the appointment of an interim management team. They insist that an investigation into the senior staff be completed within 40 working days and are calling for immediate fulfillment of the university's promise to pay 3 months of the overdue salaries, according to the source, until the conditions are met. The concerned UMU staff have urged all employees to remain home, refusing to return to work until the university's board of trustees addresses the demands. The Liberia National Fisheries and Agriculture Authority, NAFA, has signed a memorandum of understanding with 8 collaborative management associations across 6 coastal counties. The agreement marks a major milestone in the effort to promote sustainable fisheries management in Liberia in collaboration with the European Union funded Communities for Fisheries project. The MOU signing held on Friday, October 4 at NAFA's headquarters on Bushra Island solidified the establishment of 7 new CMAs in 4 coastal counties: Grand Coup, Grand Cape Mount, Grand Bassa, and Maghibe counties, alongside an additional CMA established by NAFA in 2017. The signing ceremony was attended by representatives of the European Union delegation to Liberia, NAFA officials, and the EU-funded Communities for Fishery project team. Human rights lawyer Councillor Tiamo Seigonglo says the only changes Liberians are seeing from President Joseph Boakai's promise of hope, no more business as usual, and a rescue government are in the personal lives and pockets of high-ranking government officials, including heads of public corporations. Delivering a keynote address over the weekend, Councillor Gonglo said that the Boakai Kone administration is not rescuing the ordinary Liberian people as he promised during the election. Councillor Gonglo continues that a better Liberia will come when citizens change their mindset that government is not a business venture and that corruption is not acceptable, adding that it will come when Liberians stop making excuses for dishonesty and hold each other accountable. A Liberian anti-corruption group has asked President Joseph Yoma Boakai to suspend 959 of his officials for allegedly failing to declare their assets, violating the National Code of Conduct. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia recently noted that the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has reported that 26.5% of the officials have complied with the law as of July 31st this year. Of the 1,900 government employees and public officials that the LACC recently identified as those required to declare their assets and liabilities. Further, the LACC revealed that about 73.5% of government officials, including those appointed by the president, were non-compliant. Away from the executive, the commission noted that 26 of the 73 House of Representatives were compliant, while 47 were non-compliant. Additionally, the LACC said of the 30 senators, 12 were compliant, while 18 were non-compliant. Following the early CC report, Central Program Director, Attorney General Yakula called on citizens to demand that lawmakers declare the access as a pivotal public service component. Away from Liberia, French Cameroonian writer Charles Onana is due to go on trial in Paris accused of complicity in contesting the 1994 Rwanda genocide. About 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutus were killed within 100 days. In a book published 5 years ago, Mr. Onana described the idea that the Hutu government had planned a genocide in Rwanda as one of the biggest scams of the last century. His lawyer, Emmanuel Paya, insists that Mr. Onana does not question that genocide took place or that Tutsis were particularly targeted. Mr. Paya told the AFP news agency that the book in question was the work of a political scientist based on 10 years of research to understand the mechanisms of the genocide before, during, and after. Mr. Onana, now 60, and his publishing director at Editions Du Toucan were sued for 4 years ago over the same book. That case was brought by the NGO Survey and the International Federation for Human Rights for publicly contesting a crime against humanity. Monday's trial is only the second case of denying the Rwandan genocide to come to trial in France. Under French law, it is an offense to deny or minimize the fact of any genocide that is officially recognized by France. Mr. Onana's trial will be historic since there is not yet any case law, strictly speaking, related to Rwanda on questions of Holocaust denial. Camille Lesavre, campaign manager of Survey, told the AFP. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I do a recap of the headlines. United Methodist University staff demand the immediate suspension and investigation of the institution's top leaders for gross management, citing prolonged unpaid salaries. Human rights lawyer Councillor Tiamonse Ganglo says changes Liberians are seeing from President Joseph Boakar's promise of hope, no more business as usual, and the rescue government are in the personal lives and pockets of high-ranking government officials. Away from home, French Cameroonian writer Charles Onana is due to go on trial in Paris accused of complicity in contesting the 1994 Rwanda genocide. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I presented.